Oh, it's good. Caramel. Caramel? Caramel. Caramel? Caramel. Caramel? Caramel. Caramel. Tomato, tomato. Today, no podcasts, just music. Let's go. The good thing is there is tons of new music that's recently come out in the last 2 or 3 weeks that I'm still playing catch up with. We got the Tron Aries soundtrack from 9 Inch Nails, which is amazing. I'm still getting through that right now. Rome from Sublime with Rome just released his first EP in years and years and years, which he's been dropping singles for, which I've been loving all of those. Rez just came out with a new album 2 weeks ago, which I have already listened to through all the way once. Love her music, and this album is fantastic, so I want to circle back with that. And then there's a new album from Bumpin' Uglies. There's a new album, a bunch of new singles. Singles are always rough because it's like it's hard to just listen just to one song, because unless you queue them up, they play the one song and then it randomly selects another song for you. And I usually don't typically load a queue. I go to an album or go to a station and hit play. I need to get better at queuing stuff up, especially singles. When a bunch of singles drop, which happens quite often, that's the play. You just load them all into the queue, and that way they play straight through. Yesterday I used a combination of the Pocket 3 because I decided to bring it versus the G7X, and of course the iPhone 17 Pro. And I went back and forth in the same environment using the front-facing camera, rear-facing camera, and just kind of kept going back and forth. I definitely could tell a difference. So I know I said that in yesterday's vlog, that in the previous day's vlog I couldn't really tell a difference. Yesterday I could definitely tell a difference. When I was editing last night, I was like, oh yeah, the rear camera definitely is better. It's definitely noticeable. It is just situational with the environment. I think when outdoors, in like perfect lighting outside, whether it be sunlight or not, I think that the front-facing camera is damn good for a front-facing camera. I just think that 90% of the time the rear camera is going to be better in all environments. Low light, poor light, especially when there's not true white light, like when you're getting some weird, overhead lights, iridescence, fluorescence, that sort of thing. I can tell the difference there as well between the front and rear facing camera. So definitely going to shoot with the rear in most conditions. I think front-facing camera when I'm outdoors, and like at the gym, that was front-facing camera because that's more like inconspicuous. I mentioned that yesterday, where it's like when you're using your phone vertical, it's less like intrusive. People just assume you're doing a FaceTime call, or even like just TikTok. Because everyone's so used to people holding their phones upright when they're recording. The moment I hold my phone sideways, it looks like I'm intentionally taking photos or videos of people, and that's when the people start to get a little squirrely. So the fact that I can hold my phone vertical and get horizontal for the vlog, hell yeah. Indian school sucks. It always sucks. Always so busy. Why is that so busy? This intersection I'm coming up on right now, 27th Avenue and Indian School, allegedly, I haven't confirmed this. I heard it somewhere, I read it somewhere, something, but allegedly this is the #1 prostitution area in the city. This intersection right here. And let me tell you, I've seen quite a few females in this general vicinity. Wow, so if this is the hot spot of the city, yikes. Wheeling and dealing. Oh, speaking of which, this is the greatest addition to automobiles in possibly my lifetime. I needed this with my Tundra so bad. I was the worst at parking. First of all, it had a horrible turning radius, let's just be clear. But like to be able to see the parking lines and know that, oh, I'm good, or oh, I'm too far on one side, like, oh my God. And a camera in the front. I always went way too wide because I was afraid I was gonna hit the corner of my truck. My dad's truck has all the cameras. It is the greatest thing in the world. Like, now I'll probably never get a truck again. I mean, never say never is my motto, but still, I don't have any intentions. I don't see a need to ever get a truck again. An SUV is most likely in my future, a midsize. And so I don't think that's gonna be as critical, but I really hope my next vehicle has that feature, because that is just a game changer. And the confidence that I have when backing up, knowing that I can see both all around the vehicle, behind me, and even when I turn, it gives me that little, like, this is your turn radius. So as long as you know nothing's in that, you're fine. Oh, dude, game changer. Morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing? So when I ordered my iPhone and my new Apple Watch, I also ordered the new AirPod Pro 3. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, those must have been limited quantities, because I don't get them until the first week of October, which isn't the end of the world because these work just fine still. It was just more of like an upgrade. I've been kind of tiptoeing, going back and forth between whether or not getting the Pros, because they have those little rubber tips, and those typically don't work with my ears. But I'm hoping, cross my fingers, that because the regular AirPods work so well, they're the best fitting earpods I've ever owned, I'm hoping that their Pros still hold that same factor, just with the rubber tips. I honestly thought they were going to come the same day as my watch, but they didn't. So then I was like, okay, they'll be coming sometime this week. And then, I think we got to Wednesday, and I was like, where's my AirPods at? I haven't got any emails, I haven't got any updates. I'm like, let me pull this up. So I pull it up, and it's like October 2nd or something like that. I'm like, oh, damn, okay. I got like another week to wait, I think. I'm like, damn, okay, I didn't realize that. Again, not the end of the world. Not a big deal, but now I know. As I mentioned yesterday, with the current update and recent update, they will become wireless microphones. So I'm very excited to try that out and have that as an option. Not that I vlog with my iPhone too much where I'm setting it down, like pretty much 99.9% of the time it's in my hand. But it is cool to be able to have that ability if I do want to set my phone up and walk away from it. We'll obviously test it out. We'll definitely play around with that when we get it. But one of the things that I've recently changed with iOS 26 is I now have Siri kind of like always on. Before it was like only on my phone. Like I had it set where I had to like intentionally use it, my phone, whatever. And now with my AirPods, like I can be like, yo, Siri, and she'll chime in and I've talked. It's been fantastic recently, especially when I'm shopping and I've got my hands full, I'm doing stuff. We text message each other all the time for work, where we have our group chat, we have just my brother's chat, and then my dad texts me all the time, right? And so it's nice to be able to reply back, pretty much like 99.9% accuracy. Because I've also learned the how to talk to Siri. Like, if you want to make sure you hit punctuations, you say the punctuations and she'll get it right every time. Otherwise, you have to really enunciate and pause with intention for her to pick them up. Anyway, one of the other changes I recently did was I changed her accent. I used to have an Australian one. Before that, I had an Irish one. And at some point in the last couple of years, I don't know when it was, they changed the British one, the UK one. And I like the one that I'm using now, but more than ever, because it feels more like an assistant. It feels more like this proper, Jarvis. Like Jarvis, like he had that British accent, and it just sounded very proper and, like that old school like butler style. That's how this female Siri voice, and I love it, because when she talks to me, she's very proper. Like before, I was using the fun ones. I was using like the fun, spunky, I like that. But now that I'm using this one, it feels more proper, and she's like really like talking to me, especially when I ask her questions. I love it. I don't know. Just a minute ago, somebody texted me, and they read the text message to me. I responded to the text message, and just hearing her read the text, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm a sucker for a good accent on a female, just saying. I've never been a huge car guy. I appreciate them, but not really into them. Like, I've never been a fan of Corvettes. For whatever reason, I just never liked the way they looked, except the new one. I like the new one because it looks like a supercar, you know? But of all the muscle cars, I've always loved Mustangs. I love the way that Mustangs look. Pretty much across the board. Doesn't matter what year it is, what model. I've always loved the look of a Mustang. I said if I ever got a muscle car, it'd be a Mustang. And that one's pretty sick. Listening to the Tron Aries soundtrack, like I said, and way more tracks than the original soundtrack from the first one. But I feel like there's a lot of tracks. Obviously different style of music with Trent Reznor with 9 Inch Nails. Some bangers, there's definitely some bangers on the album. But just, there's some that I'm like, too slow. You know, there's one that he's saying, it's very ballady, and I'm like, no, not my style. I like the techno, I like the industrial, I like the fast, hard-hitting. That's my jam, for sure. So I'm definitely still on the fence about this one. Like, I've been liking it. There's definitely some bangers. The soundtrack to the first Tron, well, Tron Legacy, the second movie, the last one, definitely had more, like I just hit play and walk away. Never had to skip, never had to worry about what track was on because it was always hit after hit. With Daft Punk, you almost forgot that it was a soundtrack because it was just really good EDM, techno music, you know. There was definitely some that you could tell they're a little more on the orchestra side of things, but with the synth, you know. But most of that soundtrack was just like, Tiffany reminded me yesterday that we are 2 weeks away from our Mexico trip. Very excited about that. It's been something that's been so far like in advance that I just kind of forget about it, you know? We got our passports about 2 weeks ago, which was hella fast, by the way. Like, you know, they're like 4 to 6 weeks, and it was like barely 4 weeks, I think, by the time we got it, which is awesome because it puts the, you know, that was the only thing we were kind of stressing about is like, we just didn't realize how tedious the process was. And even though it said 4 to 6 weeks, that clock doesn't start until after they receive your application, right? And all the information. Not like the whole, from start to finish, it was like, and I admit, we definitely waited to the absolute last minute because 6 weeks was the week we were leaving. or 6 weeks was the week before we were leaving. So like if there was any delays, we would have been screwed. But now that we're so close to it happening, now I'm getting all excited. Now I start looking into it. I start looking at what we can do, what all the fun things there are at the resort, how far away we are from, like, say, downtown, or, you know, touristy stuff, local stuff, that sort of thing. I'm very much looking forward to doing all that digging and research this weekend. That's my plan. But obviously, the one thing that I have to verify, because Tiffany doesn't give a shit, is I'm assuming the resort's gonna have Wi-Fi. Everyone's got Wi-Fi these days, but just to verify that they do, and if it's free or if I have to pay for it, and what my Verizon data situation is. I know I get talk and text, no problem, over in Mexico. I assume that I get data, but how much data do I get? You know, what's the overages? I'm looking at all those details this weekend, because again, she kind of reminded me that we're about 2 weeks out, so I figure like it's a good time to, like, that's literally the last thing that I have to figure out and worry about, if anything. I'm not worried about it. I don't really worry about stuff like that. I just kind of wing it, but trying to be better at planning, prepping, and, you know, making sure I'm good before, you know, jump into things with both feet. Quick workout today. It wasn't that it was super busy, but there was just a ton of people around the things that I needed to do. And I'm going through the workouts to say, what else can I substitute? And I'm like, there's really not. And so I'm kind of standing around. I'm like, I'm wasting time. I ain't got time to waste. So I might try and squeeze in maybe like tomorrow, come back and just hit those 2 workouts that I skipped. I'm just not in the mood today, honestly. I dressed out and I went. I did 2 of my 4 workouts, but yeah, I'm not feeling it today. Yeah, so I don't know. I was fine this morning. Something happened midday, just bullshit, work bullshit. And it kind of just put me in a funk. I mean, I already had something on my mind, like when I woke up this morning, but I was easy to, squash that and move on. Like I said, this morning I was doing fine. I listened to music during my morning shop and, my morning drives and whatnot. Like I said, I listened to my news podcast this morning. That was about it. And then I switched to music for the rest of the day. Didn't watch any YouTube videos, just music. And I was in a vlogging mood up until that point of, like I said, I got kind of in a funk. And then after that, I was just kind of like, meh. And I'm still kind of meh. It's 3 o'clock. I got out of work a little early, which was nice. I kind of needed to get out of there, to be honest with you. And so I've got a good chunk of time to myself. Tiffany's been getting home earlier and earlier for one reason or another, either because she hits her daily goal or she's having a rough day or like a bad day. So it's either she's having a good day or she's having a bad day, I guess. There's no in between. If there's anything in between, she just kind of stays out till whenever. But when she's cranking in, she ends early. If she's in a crappy mood, just over it, she comes home early. Sierra is at school, but she is coming home for dinner at some point. So Tiffany was talking yesterday about making something that's easy to stay warm or easy to reheat, one of the two. It's usually like crock pot meals or pastas, something that's easy to, like I said, to reheat or stay hot for Sierra, because she'll get home. Usually, we're already done eating before she gets home. So I don't know what we're doing for dinner just yet. It's always a mystery. It's always a surprise. And I was telling Tiffany last night, I don't care what she makes, because there's never a time that she makes something and I'm like, I don't want that. I'll eat literally anything that she makes. Now, granted, she usually goes for turkey or chicken versus beef and pork, and we obviously never get seafood. So I wish sometimes she would do more beef and more pork, but again, I'm not complaining. She's gonna make it for herself anyway. She just makes enough. There's always enough for me, because pretty much everything you cook is always for two. Always. It's very rare that you cook something that's just for one person, unless it's a prepackaged meal or something. But she cooks and she's like, there's always enough for you if you want. Otherwise, I'll eat it for leftovers the next day. So it's just so easy for me to go, yeah, I'll eat that. It's fine. Like last night, it was just real simple. Fucking box of protein pasta, a jar of vodka sauce, 4 Italian chicken tenders, and broccoli. Chopped up some broccoli. It was super simple. She just threw it together, and we had a little Italian plate. Nothing special, but it was delicious. When I was on my drive home, I was thinking about actually laying on the couch and watching a movie today, in my little free time, because I was just kind of I was kind of in a blah mood, and I don't know if I wanted to. New World sounds fun, and chatting doesn't sound fun. That's the thing. So I was like, well, change it up. I've been playing New World the last couple of days. Maybe I'll just veg out on the couch. But then I got home, realized how early it was, and I was like, no, I can actually get a decent sized stream in, and again, get some stuff done in New World. So, yeah. We're streaming. I got too much time not to. Yo, Patrick, just wanted to, I'm on stream right now. I'm live on Twitch, and I'm eating some of your jerky, and I just had to give you another shout out, dude, because I think this bag's actually better than the first one. The bag I opened yesterday, I brought to work with me so my brothers could try it. And this, I know they both say teriyaki, but it's almost like this is a different batch. This is so good. I'm just eating the hell out of it right now. It's a great snack. But anyway, Glenn's Market in Wisconsin. Shout out to Glenn's Market and catering. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Tiffany made a chili mac with rice. Basically chili on top of rice. Smells amazing. We're melting the cheese while we eat some house-made salads. Another quiet evening. Catching up with Tiff in the kitchen, eating dinner. Sierra came home, caught up about her concert last night, Benson Boone. She had a blast. Best concert ever, she said. Had some great moments. Actually got to, I don't want to say meet him, but, touch him, say hi. He thanked her for coming to the concert. the little thing he does after the concert. She got a poster, so she's very happy. She's thrilled, but she stayed up way too late waiting for him at the end of the concert, and she has work in the morning, so she's going to bed. And I think I'm actually going to go to bed early tonight as well. I'm going to catch up on some sleep. I was struggling on the drive home. That's usually an indicator that I'm behind on sleep. So, going to go to bed early. Tomorrow's Friday, which means I can stay up late. If I can try, I'll try to stay up late. I feel like a movie. I almost watched a movie today. So tomorrow night, definitely going to watch a movie. There's a bunch of new ones out on Netflix. I know that. So, might even squeeze in two. We'll see. This weekend, definitely going to do a live stream here on YouTube, test out the new iPhone 17 Pro front-facing camera for streaming. So stay tuned for that. And there'll probably be a long stream on Twitch at some point as well, twitch.tv/Clintus, playing New World. Really had a good time playing today. Good crowd, good turnout. Enjoyed that. So thanks as always for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.